And now it's Renovate and Build. 60 minutes dedicated to building and renovating solutions. Here's your hosts, Jim and Sandra.
Good morning and welcome to the show. Just a few more days before the holidays. If you haven't got your shopping done yet, this is the weekend to do it. Jim?
Good morning.
This is your warning. You're on the countdown officially.
Good morning. Yeah, like I said last week, I'm always the last one out there picking through the crumbs on the shelves there, trying to get some presents together. So, yeah, I'm certainly one of those people that leaves everything till the last minute, of course.
And it doesn't help when you have Saturday morning radio shows to do as well. You can't beat the rush to the stores.
My daughter's going to make me keep on top of things this year. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun year for her.
Yeah.
I'm curious for our listeners at home, Jim, about how many of them think about home improvement over the holidays. I know growing up in a big family, when we would take turns doing the entertaining year to year, it was always interesting watching my family go, oh, you know what, next year I should put in the home entertainment unit so when everybody's over, the kids can watch movies. And it's just always interesting to find out when you're spending a lot of time in your home during the holidays, how many people think as soon as everybody leaves, okay, it's time to start my home improvement.
Yeah, I think a bit of competition starts and a bit of, like you said, people spend an unusual amount of time in their homes, and we get a lot of calls after the holidays and early in the new year, and I think that's, like you said, that kind of triggers it when people are in their homes, they're discussing it, they've gone to friends or family, they get ideas, some homeowners talk about what they got done last year, and just it starts to stimulate people's thought process. And January is a time of planning and what's going on for the year and budgeting and all these things. So yeah, it's definitely a time when we do get a lot of calls, and it's a time that we enjoy, where people are not rushed into it, and kind of there's lots of the whole year to plan it out, what we're going to do all the budgeting, do all that, get involved with fair trade works. And yeah, it's always a busy time for us, so we certainly look forward to it. And a lot of people say maybe we've hosted Christmas Day this year and it's their turn next year, right? So what are we going to do? How are we going to kind of compete or get ready for the family coming?
You're not competitive with your relatives, are you? Well, I should point out, because we do love statistics at Fair Trade Works, that, Jim, 55% of Canadian homeowners anticipate big-ticket home improvements within the next 5 years. That's according to the 2013 survey done by the CMHC, Canadian Mortgage and Housing Corporation. Now, according to the survey, 1/3 of potential renovators would like to make structural repairs like the roof or the foundation, those necessities, while 65%, and I must hold up my hand, I'm in here, want to improve their living spaces like we talked about, whether it be the kitchen, the bathroom, etc. Interestingly enough, though, only 38% said that they're going to be around $10,000 or more.
Interesting. Yeah, I tend to believe that the 38% mentioned are the only realistic ones in the survey. And this $10,000 really doesn't kind of get you that far in a home renovation. Most homeowners have no kind of baseline for construction, and that's another reason why I created Fair Trade Works, to be open and transparent, so consumers that are planning some sort of construction in their home or commercial construction, they have an understanding and transparency of what they really cost per square foot, or the average kitchen, average bathroom, and we have all these examples which we offer to our consumers. So at the infant stage, we can really educate them on the true market value budget of construction, so that they can be realistic and budget and plan, and just having that information available up front, I think, is a great tool for the consumers.
Do you find a lot of homeowners or clients calling you, I shouldn't say just homeowners, it's commercial as well, calling because they want an estimate because they have no idea what the price point is?
Yeah, I think that's frustrating in the industry where, homeowners say, well, I would like to do a bathroom renovation, so a lot of other services out there in other sectors, they could go online, or they go shopping, or go into a retail store,
and have an estimate of some sort.
Or just have a visual reference. But with construction, it's not. So they'll call construction companies to get endless estimates and comparisons, and we'll go to many consultations where they'll say, oh, just add that, and they haven't given it any thought. They use the construction industry to kind of gather this information, because it isn't available publicly.
Right.
And one, it's frustrating for the construction companies because it's a huge amount of time involved, and the homeowners may not have embarked on that if there was a transparency up front and they knew what things would cost. If they have $10,000 and they knew that it's only cost $80,000 for a basement rental or something, then they're not going to embark on that journey, right? So I think
they're ready financially.
Until they're ready financial for it, yeah. So I think it's better consumers being transparent as a construction platform with Fair Trade Works, so consumers can, when they do engage us, they know they're ready on all counts to be serious and move forward with us and enjoy the experience.
Good morning. You're listening to Renovate and Build on CIL 650 with Jim and Sandra. Great lineup for you on this Saturday morning as we talk everything construction. And today's show is all about keeping it green. We talk about this a lot at Fair Trade Works because, let's face it, it's all of our responsibility to keep our country and our city and our province as beautiful as we can. I know a lot of people in Canada are concerned about climate change and how it affects all of us. I also understand a lot of clients often look for companies to deal with that have a green philosophy. And Jim, I know that you take that seriously at Fair Trade Works. It was part of your mandate setting up the company.
Yeah, it is, and Canada's not my country. Like you said, I'm from Britain, and coming to this country now, doing business here and having a child here and all these things, I try to be socially responsible, and now operating and owning Fair Trade Works, it's definitely part of our mandate to be as green as possible and be educated and educate. And we did partner with the Climate Smart program almost 2 years ago now, where many of us in the company took the course to educate about our carbon footprint, how to reduce it, how to educate others. And yeah, it's certainly something we take very seriously. And Climate Smart have been a great partner for us to help us with the small stuff, get that under control, and then step through the program and kind of tackle the bigger stuff, and then self-educate and educate the marketplace as we move forward. So,
well, later on the show, Anna, your advisor at Climate Smart, is going to be stopping by to check in on you again. Anna Lukanova talked to us recently about her industry brief that was released. It's the Construction Real Estate and Carbon Emissions Brief, and she's going to be stopping by to tell us all about it.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing it. But before that, to tell us what's happening in their neighborhood, we're joined by Dominic and Diana Sorisi of Dominic Contracting to talk about Burnaby.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you again for having us.
I'm going to correct the last name because it's Sriracha.
Sriracha.
I just asked them before the show, even though I know them very well, I said, just make sure I get it right, and I got it wrong.
He panics, and he went, uh-oh.
I can't read my handwriting, that's what I did.
Because I love the name, and same with Dominic Contracting. It's such a unique name, so it always sticks out in our heads here. So nice to have you guys here. I guess few days to Christmas. Are you guys prepared?
We are very excited, but not so much prepared. As Jim was saying, it's a mad scramble till the end, right?
Yeah.
So. And you have big families, so you have a lot of entertaining to do as well.
Entertaining, gift wrapping, gift buying, 2 small children, so yeah.
And your own business.
And our own business.
Right. And here we are throwing more jobs at you. Now you guys get to be reporters for us as well.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Okay, guys, so anything new? What are the hottest topics in construction and development for Burnaby right now?
Well, right now, I think what people are top of mind in Burnaby right now is the construction of the towers at Brentwood and the amazing Brentwood, as they call it, the new shopping center that is slated to open in winter of 2017. That's definitely the hot topic right now, what people are thinking about. There was a public hearing about it back in August, so there was some general opposition, as with anything, as well as people that were for this new tower and this new mall. So I think that's really kind of the hot topic in Burnaby right now.
That's on the construction, isn't it?
Yeah. They already started the holes.
Yeah. I drive by that. You can't miss it, right?
Yeah.
Now, there was a public hearing, right, about it's quite controversial in Burnaby.
Yes.
Just to kind of update people who are just joining us. 53 stories, Brentwood Tower 2. Do you feel the general sentiment has changed through the education process?
Well, I think the opposition had a few really good points, and that was, the construction of this new tower, is there going to be amenities to go behind that? One of the main things is, are there going to be community centers? Are there going to be new hospitals built? How is the infrastructure, the roads? They do have the transit line, but it only runs west and east. Is there going to be more public transit going north and south? There's all these concerns that were rightly so brought up by the general public, the residents of Burnaby. But there's also some pros about having this tower there, and I think we see the example of Metrotown as a really good one. This is a high density area. There's 30,000 people in that area of Metrotown, bigger than some of these places like Kitsilano and the West End, because of this new mall. So we can probably see that happening in Brentwood when the construction's done and the mall's revitalized, because with the construction of the tower is going to be the new mall, which is going to be in sort of this large open space. There's 28 acres, restaurants, shopping. So it's going to be a plus side for residents to have this. This is all new stuff. They just want to be able to preserve the community. I think that was the real gist of the opposition. I know another thing, the general sentiment also, they're concerned about timelines. They know it's going to be open in 2017, but what are the development timelines? What's going to be done, say, in a year or 2 years once we get to that period where it opens?
It's a lot to think about. Even traffic patterns change
Yeah.
when you have that many people coming into a tower of that size. So
Definitely.
really interesting. And I think it was fair opposition, like, general concerns for the community, but nobody seems to be protesting the development in its entirety, I guess.
Exactly. Well, they say you can't build a vibrant community around a shopping mall. That was the general sentiment. But if you look at Metrotown, there's a really good example there that you can't do that. So I think that with the opposition seeing that, and I think also the developer has been in talks with the city that they will be building community centers as well. So they will still foster that sense of community. They're not going to take away from it. And I think the general sentiment kind of starts to change when they see that it won't just be development. There's going to be things for the residents that may or may not buy spaces in that tower. What is the current residents going to gain from that, I think is the main thing. So.
Yeah, because my next question was just, what are the pros and cons, and what, in your eyes, what do you think are some of the benefits Burnaby can gain from these developments, right? You touched upon community centres, things for Burnaby that aren't directly related to the towers, so is there anything else you can think of that, being a Burnaby resident, that you think is going to be a positive thing for this development?
I definitely think a revitalization of the neighborhood, because back in 1959, when they first created Brentwood Mall, which is, was a tiny little mall, but back then it was something, kind of a showpiece. Oh, wow, this new mall is being developed. That brought people to Burnaby.
Yeah, that was our attraction.
Yeah, that was definitely an attraction, and that's why people bought in Burnaby, and people tend to forget about that. So they're doing it again. They're making this huge super mall, and I think that that's going to revitalize the neighborhood. The current mall as it stands now, it's not servicing the residents.
It needs a big wow for Burnaby, and Burnaby needs something that just gets plonked in the middle, and it's going to draw people. Just give Burnaby a voice and give it some attention, right? So.
Definitely.
Now, if our research was correct, so in the next 20 years, you're going to have 10 towers, though?
Surrounding it. Yeah.
Surrounding it.
Surrounding it.
So is that a fear? I mean, it's one thing for revitalization. Are people going, okay, is this going to be too big? Or is that just a reality in the kind of the times we're at?
Yeah, there is going to be some issues with it because the 53-foot tower, all the suites in there, who's buying these? Are they international buyers, first-time buyers? Or are they people that are buying them for investment? Because you know what's happening in Vancouver. Yeah, towers do sell out very quickly, but half of them are sitting empty.
Okay.
And the ones that are for rent, for an average person, it's too expensive.
Right.
So something like that can happen into Burnaby. So there is good things and bad things, but time will tell, right? So
yeah, and it's a different city. Like, you're talking about the patterns that have happened in Vancouver. Burnaby residents, do they say, well, we don't want what's happening in Vancouver, we don't want in our residents, right? Because it is a different kind of demographic of people. As we've discussed last time, Burnaby is that deeply kind of working class mentality where it's salt of the earth people, and do they want this real gentrification coming to Burnaby and driving? Or it's great to lift their tax base and real estate prices, but
they're still looking for community.
Yeah.
Do they really want it? They're very community based in Burnaby, right?
Yeah, it's like if it was just that one tower, then I could see that. But when you have 10 surrounding it, that's a lot of suites in there, and not just that one area. So there could be, the good things and the bad things about it.
Do you think it's a good thing, Dom?
Not what I see. What's happening in Vancouver.
Yeah.
A lot of empty space. So time will tell. Like I said, we won't know until it's all developed and.
It must be interesting for you being a Burnaby boy, and then
because we never seen these towers going up like this, right? It was all residential and townhouses and stuff like that. But stuff like this, it's amazing seeing it getting blown up like that. So it's a good thing, I guess.
And it's just the start.
We always love seeing new shopping centers. I mean, with Christmas coming, we want to go there, right?
Yeah. It's convenient, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. But another issue I see, the appeal is to a certain person too. Like, how about what's happening to the vulnerable of society, like social housing, special needs? Like, are those people being looked after with the construction of these massive towers? That was another issue that the opposition saw as well. And I'm just playing devil's advocate. I think it's a good thing for Burnaby. Right. I mean, I think it's a really great thing, but we're going to have to keep these things top of mind. What's the commitment to the vulnerable peoples that live in Burnaby that need maybe special housing and things like that? And where's the commitment to the community? That's what we kind of need to see. And I think
the long-term vision. Yeah.
Exactly, the long-term vision. Yeah.
I saw a quote today. It was about constructive tension when everybody brings their ideas to the table, and there's that, that awkward moment where people think, are we arguing about this? But it is good for development and moving forward that everybody's ideas get, and like you said, that thoughtfulness of development and where it's going to take us in the future.
Right.
Well, I know that Jim, you were going to ask about just living in Burnaby. You touched on it before.
Yeah, just about, you guys obviously reside in Burnaby, and Burnaby gets overlooked, I think, but, give me the top 3 things that you guys love about living in Burnaby, and what makes it so attractive to live there? Because I know you guys are self-employed, you have a family, you're active in the community, do all these things. So what makes Burnaby so good to live in for you guys?
Well, I think it's close to everything. Right? We got the rapid transit line. You can go to Vancouver in less than 20 minutes. You can be downtown. You can go east of that on the highway, which is right there as well. So it's central, as Dominic was saying before, it's central to everything. I think that's the major draw for everyone that lives there.
Especially being in your business, obviously the construction business, like Dom, I know you leave early in the morning, but you jump on the highway, get up to West Van, North Van, the Vancouver Marketplace.
Like I said, 25 minutes, you can go everywhere. Right?
Yeah, but a bit like even with the mall, you said it's close to downtown, but that'll change soon enough where you'll have your own downtown, right? So
exactly.
Burnaby will become self-sufficient and
that's right.
Be ever more attractive to live, right? So.
Yeah, and cultural diversity of the facilities that are available. Like there's a huge Italian population, large European, not just Italian, and I think that the offerings that are there, like in terms of restaurants,
it's vibrant.
It's very
it's vibrant, but with that wee bit of gentrification, I think it's going to turn into give it even that European feel.
Exactly.
You guys are Italian. I know a lot of Italian people over there, and I love going to the east side. I love going to Commercial Drive when the World Cup's on. It's one of the most vibrant. It's just a good mix of people, and it has that life to it. It has that soul of the working class, and it's just a really good has a great foundation, a great community. I think if it's built upon that and it continues to build and be economically successful, I think it's going to turn into just a phenomenal city.
Yeah, it's great to have the mom and pop shops all there too, right? It's all tight and stuff like that.
Self-employed entrepreneurs working.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's going to be a great year, 2015, isn't it? Bright future, lots of changes ahead.
Yeah.
We thank you both for your time and happy holidays to your family.
Thank you, and a very Merry Christmas.
Of course, we've been speaking with Dominic and Diana Sorachi of Dominate Contracting, our neighborhood news reporters for Burnaby. If you'd like to share news about your neighborhood with us, email us at radio@fairtradeworks.biz.
Lots of great information to share with you today on Renovate and Build. We've got our own hardwood floor specialist, Cypress Hardwood, stopping by to tell us about green solutions.
And Jim, Aaron, and Jeanette have both been on the show a couple times now from Cypress Hardwood. We've covered things including how important subfloor prep is and the difference between North American and European made hardwood versus offshore products. But today we're going to be talking about how hardwood choices impact the environment.
And if you're wondering what you can do about it, Megan Gary will provide this. Oh, I fucked up. Cut. One each, yeah.
One each.
It's because you cut me off before I was finished.
I know. So do you want to do your line again?
Yeah. So I was like, he cut me off. Okay, good luck segueing on this one, buddy.
I was waiting for the contamination, but I thought it was a pause.
Add something.
Okay. Also ahead on the show today, how clean is your tap water? We're very lucky to have access to clean drinking water in Vancouver, but you won't believe it when I tell you that many top people... Sorry, start again.
Yeah. Something in the...
Yeah, something in the water, exactly. Also ahead on the show today, how clean is your tap water? We're lucky to have clean access. We're lucky to have clean access. Oh my, just let me get through this day.
Let's take a minute.
Also ahead on the show today, how clean is your tap water? We're lucky to have access to clean drinking water, but you won't believe it when I tell you that most tap water in North America contains moderate to heavy levels of contamination. Don't laugh at me.
We said contamination, it made me laugh. Okay, that's good. I'll do mine. Okay, 1, 2. And if you're wondering what you can do about it, Megan Gary will be by with... And if you're wondering what you can do about it, Megan Gary will be by with her recommendations on water filters. That's on Product Face Off.
So stay with us. It's going to be a great show.
There's still lots more ahead. This is Renovate and Build, powered by Fair Trade Works with Jim and Sandra.